2-week journey to the Community of Christ International Resource Summit in the Philippines, and I'm still carrying it with me. The faces, the stories, the sacred in-between moments. More than 70 participants from 23 countries on 6 continents gathered across languages, cultures, and life experiences. And yet, somehow, it didn't feel divided. It felt whole. It felt like the church, as it's meant to be. You could see it everywhere. Shared meals, small group conversations, worship that moved between stillness and celebration, music spilling out into the streets, singing in markets, dancing, laughing, creating. It honestly felt like a real-life We Are the World unfolding in real time, and I had the privilege of capturing it through photography and film, documenting not just what was happening, but what was being formed between people. Because this summit wasn't just about creating new resources, it was about becoming a new kind of community. One of the most meaningful ideas we encountered was a Filipino word, Damayan. It's often translated as mutual help, but it means so much more than that. Damayan is about showing up for one another, not to fix, not to solve, but to stand alongside, to say, you don't carry this alone. And that spirit shaped everything. People listened deeply, across language barriers, across cultures. Stories that might have been overlooked were honored. Voices that hadn't always been centered were lifted. There was a kind of courage in the room, the courage to decenter ourselves, to make space, to trust that something better could emerge when everyone belongs. And it did. I saw people offering their stories, their music, their prayers, their art, not as performances, but as gifts. I saw friendships form that crossed continents. I experienced what it means to be a global church, not in theory, but in practice. And while filming interviews, we heard story after story of how meaningful this gathering was. Here's a reflection from one of the participants that I had the privilege of interviewing, Bishop Chezaso Chunga in Malawi.
As an international church, I can see that connection through the resources that are there. And I saw talent. I saw God inspiring the group, inspiring us to write poems, songs. The material that will come out of this, the resources which will come out of this event will be wonderful and a turning point for the church. We are really creating a new community for Community of Christ International, because the resources that are coming up, the songs that are coming up from the group, the poems, the prayers that are coming, they are very much inspiring. You look at from nowhere, a group can sing a song, a chorus together without any problems. This is really amazing. And our church really will be inspired internationally. And they are contextually relevant, because from Malawi I can see either a poem or a prayer from there. I can see from Kenya, from Honduras, from Canada, as a church, united and together singing songs. I see God working throughout this week.
What he describes, that's exactly what it felt like. A new kind of community taking shape, not built on sameness, but on shared purpose. Not led by one voice, but carried by many. Outside of our sessions, that same spirit continued in the rice fields, in the barangays, in the marketplaces full of life and color, in the quiet beauty of the early morning dew, in the overwhelming generosity of the Filipino people. Everywhere there was this reminder, we belong to each other. And maybe that's what I'll carry forward the most. Not just the images, not just the stories, but the way people leaned toward one another with curiosity, with humility, with love. Damayan, a way of being that feels like justice, like kindness, like the Spirit made visible. I left the Philippines with new friendships I know will last a lifetime, but more than that, I left with hope. Hope that the church can be more global, more inclusive, more connected. Hope that we don't do this work alone, because in the end, this is Christ's mission, one we were always meant to live together.
Mungu wa mapendo